So good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to CEO Talks. In the next couple of slides, I'll take you through what is CEO Talks all about, and especially a very, very warm welcome to those of you who have come for the first time. All right. CEO Talks is something which got unlocked during the lockdown. We started on the 25th of March. Average participation has been around 40 people on Zoom and 250 plus people on Facebook Live and 60 plus on YouTube every day. All right. So far, around 5,000 unique participants have participated. One of the highlights has been the Industry Connect, which happens on every Saturday. In an Industry Connect, we invite a panel who will come and discuss on a certain topic which is relevant to the industry at large, to the entrepreneur ecosystem. So tomorrow again we have the Industry Connect, and the topic is called Bridge to Sustainable Industry. This is where we've got four specialists who work in the sustainable side of the business. So we've got Rajesh Budraj, who's an HVAC consultant. We've got Dr. Kaviraj, who is a carbon credits consultant, and he is also into auditing of this. Then we also have Rohit Nagia, who's a greenacular architect. So he basically builds green buildings. And then we have JP Singh, who is a specialist in solar energy. So tomorrow is going to be an awesome session in the sustainability space. So do join us for that. And the day after tomorrow, which is a Sundays, on Sundays we have what we call as Chapal, experience laziness, as the name suggests. This is where we don't have any specific agenda. Entrepreneurs come together, get to know each other, and have engaging conversations among themselves. So this is what happens on a Sunday. And during the weekdays, we have had talks on branding, sales, marketing. We've had business coaches come and speak about various aspects of business, then industrial engineering, business automation, business opportunity, information technology. CAs have been there who've spoken about compliances for the business. Legal experts have been there, and investment experts have also been there to tell you how to safeguard your investments. And Industry Connect and Chopal is something what I've shared. So this happens every morning at 9:30, and we intend to continue with this even after the lockdown gets over. All right. CEO Talk is an opportunity for you to come up front and speak. So if you are considering this, so what we do is we create a promo for you, and this promo gets distributed across the eGrowth network, which reaches around 1 lakh users through WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and one email, which goes to around 45,000 users. All right. Every session, if you're going in for a single session, it costs you 5,000 rupees plus GST. 2 talks will be 4,000 each. 3 talks and beyond that, it will be 3,000 rupees each. All right. This is a price which is valid for May 2020. In the month of June, we will see what is the next price that gets worked out. And as a participant, you pay only 200 rupees for participating in one of these sessions. All right. You considering to take up the talking opportunity, you can definitely get in touch with me. My name is Atul, and my number is 9899116054. Okay. The people behind the CEO Talks is eGrowth. eGrowth, the leverage platform, is the world's first bad ecosystem, which is business advisory and business development. Okay. Our mission is to empower and enable businesses. We started in 2014 and have been growing ever since. Right now, as we speak, we have around 28,000 business owners on the platform, spread across different industries, across different locations. These are some of the images of the engagement that we've done in the past. In 2017, we went on a road trip to Punjab. We also went on a road trip to West India. In 2018, we collaborated with Startup India for the Startup India UP Yatra. These are some images from there. And then we've been doing various activities to support entrepreneurship. Okay, so here you see images from places like Shimla, then Udaipur, Kanpur, Jamshedpur, and there is an image from celebrating womanhood, which has been one of our flagship events for women entrepreneurs. And then also we introduce something called as the leverage model, which is a model to design your business. All right. And then there is some media coverage also, which you can see. How is it that you can associate with eGrowth? The first and the foremost is we've got a portal called egrowth.org. Right now, we've got more than 18,000 people who created the profile here. You can post your blogs and articles so that your business can get discovered. You can post requirements and offers, and you can also list your events over here. And there is also a discussion forum. All right. We are available on social media. Our social media handle is egrowth.org, and you can definitely get in touch with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp. So we've got around 50 WhatsApp groups. I definitely urge you to join us on YouTube. So all our CEO talks, those are being recorded and are uploaded here. And as of now, in all, we've got around 250 odd videos which are there, maybe around 260 by now. Okay. And this is a very rich resource for all entrepreneurs. We engage very actively with entrepreneurs, so by way of workshops and trainings, eGrowth mixers. eGrowth Town Hall is a meeting for the eGrowth members, which happens on Thursdays. And we also organize a meeting called Introduction to eGrowth. In case you want to know more about eGrowth, we have a separate session which happens every Friday. So today afternoon, 3 o'clock, we'll be having that session. If you're interested, you can send a message in chat and we'll get back to you. All right. And then CEO talks, it happens every morning 9:30, and we have something called as the inner circle. We just completed our inner circle meeting, which is, so inner circle meets 2 times in a month. There is a team which manages this. It is based on what we call as distributed consulting. We support our business owners by looking at their challenges and helping them resolve them. The high point of this meeting is the create session, wherein one business owner, he comes up front, he shares the challenge that he's facing in his business, and we help to resolve that or give various kind of solutions to that. All right. We also invite you to subscribe to eGrowth. There are 3 possibilities. You can start with a registration, upgrade to an annual or an enterprise subscription, and then go in for an inner circle subscription as well. Okay, when you subscribe to eGrowth, there are a lot of goodies that you get from eGrowth members, and we keep on increasing our goodies over here. All right. This was a little bit about eGrowth and the various manners in which you can engage with eGrowth. Right now, you have an offer to join eGrowth in a circle at only 15,000 rupees plus GST. This is for an entire year. You get to participate in 24 meetings and engage with the entire network. All right. And also next week, so on the 11th, 13th, and 15th, so that is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are going to have leverage in COVID times. This is an integrated workshop which will help you prepare yourself and your business as you get into the post-COVID era. Okay, so if you are interested to participate in this, you can definitely consider this. The 3 sessions, there are 3 2-hour sessions. So Monday morning 8:30 to 10:30, Wednesday morning 8:30 to 10:30, and Thursday morning 8:30, sorry, Friday morning 8:30 to 10:30. The entire package costs you only 999 rupees. All right, so do join us there. Okay, so this was a little bit about eGrowth. You can get in touch with us. We're already running late, so I'll invite Ashish to take us through what he has to share today. Hi, Ashish. Good morning.
Good morning, Ji. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting for so long.
Absolutely.
So, for the benefit of everybody, Ashish is our speaker for the day. He is an awesome marketing person. All right. He is able to look at marketing in the 360-degree fashion, and this is his 5th time on the CEO talks. So Ashish, you definitely have the award for being here for the maximum number of times. All right. And thanks for contributing. Every time Ashish has been here, he has raised the bar and he has taken the conversation to the next deeper level. He is somebody who will help you to use online to take your business to the next level. All right. So he is talking about designing the entire thing and hit the ground running in a span of only 6 weeks. That is your claim, right, Ashish?
Let's do
Yeah. Ashish is a Harvard School dropout. Instead of going and studying further in the American universities, he chose to start his own business and contribute to others. So whatever he's learned in the past 20 years, that is something what he keeps on sharing. And so, Ashish, over to you. Anything you want me to do? So, sorry, another thing. All of you, please keep your questions handy. You can ask them towards the end of the session, and that is when you will get an opportunity to introduce yourself as well. All right, Ashish, all yours.
Awesome. All right. I hope first up I'm audible, and if you can just few people, awesome.
Yes, it's fine. Yeah.
Right, and if you're here in this meeting, I see the few people here, and if you're here, I would expect you to just switch on your cameras if you're really here, and mute yourself. Just make sure that you muted off your system, and just switch on your camera for a while and see if what I'm going to present to you is of a great value to you, because I would want to see your reaction. I just don't want to go about ramming into something and I would just want to see that whether you're getting value out of it. Because what I've also planned is something huge. I would just tell you, I haven't done a webinar. I've only presented with Atul, and I never knew the benefits. And the only reason I keep coming back is because there's a huge benefits. And I can also tell you that leveraging digital has never been so easier. The whole point is that not just live, all right, so that I'm doing it. So what I've seen is Atul does a Facebook live of these videos, which is happening right now as well, if you can see. But I think also puts it on the YouTube, and there are a lot of queries that have come, just doing that, right? So just that the live audience is very important, and I would want to see your reaction. But also people have called back, and I've never expected that. People would, bigger businesses, like the clients I have would just call back, and it's going to be such an amazing. So all I can tell you is I'm leveraging digital, and consistency is the key. So if you do it 4 to 5 times, people see you that, okay, you have something to offer, and so on and so forth. But it also becomes the challenge that whether you have something new to share or not. And let's see if I have something great for you, something which can add value hugely to your business. And if it can, and if it does, then do tell me. Then in the end, I have something super special to you, something that can add huge value to you. So let's see if it makes sense for you. So I'm trying to present my screen here. Let's see. And I think here it is. Cool. All right. So I just did, I hope my screen is visible now before we, go into the system. If any of you can just give me a thumbs up that, okay, screen is visible. Yes.
Yes, awesome. It's visible. Yeah.
And I'm just have to do a few more things here, I think, before. Yeah, cool. Okay, great.
So, well, Ashish, an unrelated question. You presented presentations with the black background, with white background, and this time it is a saffron background. So, is there a theory behind this as well?
Okay, so one of the key of basically, doing the presentation is to do it through a sequence, right? And when you are someone who who the audience does not know, you got to be more problem focused, and colors have to be sort of there. And when the audience sort of know you a little bit, or they understand the solution that you're providing, you have to be, let's say, solution focused. And when they know you, you got to be you focused. And when you focused, you got to use certain colors when you're you focused, or when you're problem focused, or when you're solution focused. And you'll also notice that colors have a good effect on us. There are soothing colors and they're not. But let's see if I'm an expert here, or if the color stays the same by the end of it. Okay. So with this, let me begin, and I promise you, I'll if you stick around, I'll finish it in time. Okay. And I'll also make sure that you get tons of value out of it. And in the end, you really energized, and you really, your day becomes better. And also, that you have the confidence to make your day better, right? So the most important thing I want to share with you is that, did you know that the most important part of the business is not your product and service? It is your offer and its communication to the market in paid and organic phase, right? So you need to do certain, organic ads, certain paid ads, but you also need to do certain things organically first, right? And the most important thing is, as again say, is your offer to the market and its communication. If the communication is great and the offer is great, you bound to make money. All right. So I know it sounds crazy because we are so used to hearing that, we need to do a lot of hustle and, we need to keep pitching our products and services. While that is important, I'm going to share with you three secrets that are going to sort of revolutionize the way you communicate with your audience, right? It's going to really embolden you, and it's going to make you really strengthen. Let's see what I have there. Well, a little bit about me. I'm a business growth consultant. I've served over 30 businesses in the last 4 years, and I actually helped them with their sales, brands. I've actually helped them with, sort of putting their business together. And sometimes also with few businesses, I've actually helped the, entrepreneur put their, mindset together, because I believe the mindset is the most critical thing when you start your business. And I've been VP sales for 6,000 crore companies. They are into jewelry, essentially, if you were to companies like Carat and Bluestone. And then not to mention, I've also worked for 7 years with American Express, and in the Harvard thing is pretty common now. Awesome. So what is the most important part of growing your business? I believe it is the offer and its communication. First of all, you need to have a great offer. If you do not have a great offer for your market, there is no point communicating something which is, which is not amazing, right? So you would want to dress up, like they say that you would dress up the person and then, take it to the market. You should present your best side, but you really need to have a great offer. And only then, your branding and positioning and, marketing and sales will work, right? So I've always thought, if you really ask me that, how do I put this in the most effective and, in a sentence? And this is what I found, that, if your offer is great and its communication is great, you're bound to win in the market. Okay. Now, first thing that, before you even put your offer, if you need to create a great offer, you need to create a great offer, but you must be able to form a bond and generate goodwill with your audience before you make that offer, right? So you have a great offer, but ensure that you have a great bond, and you have generated great goodwill with your audience before you make it. And then you should be ready to do experiments, and try different approaches till you hit a winning combination of your communication and your offer. And most of the people I've seen, they like to hustle and pitch and, overbear you. The point is, have an offer, form a bond by giving some value, and we'll understand how to give that value to your, audience first up. And then, once you have this goodwill with them and a bond with them, that's the time to sort of, do the offer. And then you need to sort of make different approaches or different angles, as they say, till you hit that winning combination. I hope I made my point absolutely clear. This is very critical for you to understand if you really want to, scale and grow your business. Now I'm going to share with you 3 secrets about the offer and its communication, and how you can use that to skyrocket your sales and do upsells. Cool. So let's see. Now, one of the things before I move ahead, I believe you will be thinking, what is this offer thing and how do we do its communication? So I would try and address that very clearly here. And again, I'm going to show you a great way so that you can create a great offer and talk about it and get amazing results for yourself. So the first secret is great offer and the stack. Now, first thing I would want to tell you is that you've heard of this word, and I'm trying to borrow it from a lot of businesses, but one special business which probably would do great again in near future. But it's called, when you go for a travel, or when you go for a travel overseas, or when you go for a holiday, you go for and you ask for a travel package, or the travel advisor would give you a package. So instead of, giving what you call a product or a service, try and sell a package which actually, is of great value. Because when in combination things are done, people or your audience want certain jobs done, and that's why they hire you. Okay. Now this is something which is very important. They want certain jobs done for them, and that is why they hire you. Our job is to understand what is the jobs that they're wanting to get done. And usually, these jobs, they want these jobs done so that either they move away from pain or they move towards pleasure, right? So you need to understand what set of jobs they want done, and your offer should be a package to that, addressing the jobs directly and telling them and connecting them that, okay, once these jobs are done, their pains will be gone and then they will have pleasure. And then as you go along in the business, you need to continue to sweeten the deal for them. It's not about us, it's about them. You need to continue to sweeten the deal for them. All right. Because, if you create a package and if you take care of most of their challenges or the jobs that they want done, you will be the one who would have great value for your client, right? So people, would not, you don't want to sort of, you don't want to bully them. You just want to make sure that you form a great bond with them and figure out the set of jobs they want. And if you can personalize the package for them, even more better. Yeah. Now, the second secret, as I said, is communication. Now, if you have a great offer and if you've not communicated it, and with communication, you will also figure out that that not just you can actually make improvements in your offer. All right, that's the first thing. Second thing is you would also be able to understand. You will also be able to do the strategy, which is that first of all, you need to make sure that your target audience understands that that you understand their problem. What is their current problem? So you need to talk about what is their problem. Okay, and then problem in the way they define it. For example, in my business, we've talked about designing, launching, and scaling business. But if we when we eventually came to the fact that, hey, we'll actually help you grow your sales, that would get you more eyeballs than anything else. And that is what we were actually doing. So you just need to chunk down and figure out what is the problem that you're solving for your audience and what is the solution you have. And then is where they would be interested in who you are. If the problem is not of their, liking or is not to bother with, that the solution that you're offering, they would not interact with you. But if you talk about a certain problem that you solve and its solution and who you are, then, people paying attention to you are looking to then, get solutions and, buy your paid services. So this is pretty critical in terms of your communication. Well, another thing is that unless, they have these problems, in their head, they're, used to them and they won't bother about it. And which is a good thing. That they don't bother about us. Otherwise, they're going to ask us tons of questions, but they bother about their solutions. So basically, you need to have the communication of your offer in a phased manner, from problem aware to a solution aware to then what you call a you aware. And then you build a relationship and follow up, and that is when they buy, right? So a great relationship happens if you offer them great value in advance, give them results in advance, or show them that you can get them results in advance, and form a good bond with them and create a goodwill by offering great value. Okay, now the third secret that I wanted to share with you is called pre-framing. So far we talked about offer, we talked about its communication, but we also now going to talk about the third most important secret, which is pre-framing. Now the pre-framing is that they need to have a great impression of you before they buy from you. Unless they have a great impression of you, they aren't going to buy. So the key is that the people respond to authority and connection. And unless you position yourself well and come across as an expert, and a great brand, you will close very few people. So the thing is that you pre-frame, you have a great offer, you do a great communication of that offer in a phased manner, but you also come across as an expert, or you've got a great positioning for your system and a great branding for your organization, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Is it difficult to put all of this together, and does that matter that much to, why can't I just hustle every day? Why can't I go about, spraying, like shooting and, what you call then, spray across the world and pray? It is critical, because if you do the systematic approach, you're going to make huge amount of success upfront. And the tricky thing is that most people hustle, and I used to do it too. And then I learned that if I follow these principles of communication, my sales closure will be great. And the good thing is that, if you do it right, for example, I'm doing it right through these, webinars that Atul is organizing. And I never have had to call people because I'm able to do the things right in a systematic way. Atul gets me the audience. I mean, we put together the audience, and there's a good, communication that happens, and then people find value for themselves. So people make buying decisions. Of course, we want to sell, but it's better than people make buying decision and then you're trying to sell. Yeah. So I've developed this 10X framework you can use to create successful campaigns, which are, start to finish campaigns. So it's not a piecemeal. It's a full framework that I would want to, showcase to you. I would want to show you that how, you can use the entire framework. Now, the point is that this framework I've created by putting thousands of my hours into it. I've spent lakhs of rupees, and I've served it to grow over 30 more businesses, 30 plus businesses. And I update it daily with latest strategies and hacks. So it's a comprehensive start to finish framework, which allows me to sort of set what you call, a sequence of success in whatever phase you are. It allows me to design your business for you, launch a business for you, and scale your business, and so that you can dominate your market. Yeah. And as a business growth consultant, I've worked with funded startups, I've worked with bootstrapping startups and SMEs, and I've actually, in certain businesses, I've helped them design it. In certain businesses, I've helped them launch it. In certain businesses, I've helped them scale it, right? And I figure out that, I figure out the part of your marketing and sales or your communication or your offer or your branding, whatever is not working. And I fix that part first. And it could be anything, starting from your mindset of an entrepreneur to your sales conversion, right? Anything in between, we would fix that through a framework and find what you call your sequence of success. So this is what we do essentially. So what I've done is, I would, like I said, would want to finish on time here. So what I've done is I've put a par webinar together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about a full 90 minutes webinar on this and explain you how you can use this whole system to grow and, sort of design and launch and scale your business so that you can grow and dominate your market segment, right? So here's the link to it. And what I also do is I'll copy this link to a chat. And what I'm trying to do is get you into a group. And Atul is already part of this group. And there are about 150 different entrepreneurs already in this group. And I would want you to first up get here. And I would like to share with you certain, pre-webinar stuff so that you're ready and you're ready to take advantage of all the, the frameworks that I show you. And you can then apply it in your business. And you will learn how to do it, and how you can sort of design and launch and grow your business. So that's what the link is going to be. I'm going to just post it right away. And all you have to do is just click it and you're going to be inside the group. And that's how it works. Okay. Basically, I'm not too sure, honestly, that, how long I would want to do this for free in a certain sense, because I want to pick up a handful of entrepreneurs who are driven and have desire to take their business to the next level. So I would want to share this whole system with them for a limited time so that, there are a few people who will take advantage of it. And if you're one of those, I'll just share the link. And if you're really driven, if you really want to take your business to the next level, that's how you would want to do it. All right. So I'll just make the link available, and I'm here to help. And I can tell you the amazing results, we've gotten for our entrepreneurs in this time. In this time, we're spending for business about lakh a month on their Facebook ads to grow the business, because the business works that way. But for other businesses, we're actually putting the positioning together, the branding together, and more importantly, their sales process together so that they can achieve, faster, or they can come back stronger and bigger when the market opens. All right. So we have a system that will find you your next big opportunity so that you can score big wins. But, we have this whole framework. Beyond the framework, I have this whole way that you can find your next big opportunity. But today I want to just talk about the 10X framework, which is amazing. All right. So I just can't wait to see you inside. I'll just put you, put the link through if you're here. And I hope you have a great day. All right. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can do it from here. And I just expect you to sort of, if you liked it, now I know how to copy it. Cool. So another thing, I mean, now that I'm done with the presentation, I just would want, and cool. So only thing I just want to ask you is, would it make sense for you to sort of, did you get some value out of what you saw here, what you learned? Was there a value for you? How did it go? So if you can just give me a comments on what did you understand, or did you understand anything? Yeah. So Atul, I'm trying to stop the share. Yeah, I think got the chat. So I put a link. All you have to do is copy this link, and this link is live, and you can sort of follow it. And this will allow us to sort of, when we organize the webinar in a week's time, we will have it. So if you found any value, just let me know. What did you learn? If you learned anything from it.
Two people who raised their hands.
Yeah. So if there's something that you learned, I would want to really know, and we'll be happy to sort of. Yeah.
So Professor Krupanand. Professor Krupanand. Okay, Lokesh.
I think Prapanand, I think he's mute. So you got to unmute yourself.
Right. So no worries. So Lokesh.
Ashish,
yes, sir.
Yeah. Ashish, wonderful presentation. I would say
just after Lokesh. Yeah.
I've always believed, and one of my firm belief in business is win the heart to win the mind. So when you spoke about connections, when you spoke about bonding, I would say connect to the audience before that decision maker, before even pitching for product. Rather than you should pitch for your service, which you can deliver along with the product. So the product selling becomes very easy for you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ashish.
Yes. So they say that, there are people who form great bonds with people. And if you form great bonds with people and then you have a value to offer, you're more likely people are going to take it.
Yeah. So Lokesh, take around half a minute to introduce yourself. And
so guys, I'm an international marketing consultant, also running a federation of buying agents as their president. We have been, just like Atul, we've been holding daily webinars to understand business, how it goes, where it goes. We are an international domain people. Anything to do with your international business, services or products, most welcome to contact Atul. He has all the coordinates for us. And we as collaborators with eGrowth are creating an ecosystem where Atul is the bigger umbrella of all the industries. And we will take your services and product to international market. So that's all about how we collaborate and why I'm in the room.
Fantastic. Thanks for taking time out, Lokesh. Krupanand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hi Atul. I think that you remember me. We made in 2017 with the Rajesh Tayal sir's office along with the Dharmishta Shah. Yeah. So we made there. Yeah.
Yes.
So we made there, and we have. I think that we have communicated also. But after that, for Ashish, for you, I am a multi-dimensional business coach. I travel across the country. And the problem is that my stuck-up all clients are there on the metro cities in the country. I'm holding a PRP, copyrighted profitability business coaching program. And this I share with the decision makers and the businessmen. Presently, I'm holding more than 100 clients in the country, and it's difficult for me to communicate with them. And because I'm not a technological friendly like you, what you have shown me in the last 20, 25, 30 minutes. So want to be expert like you. So definitely it's a very good logical and very practical things which you have taught today. And especially I like the three words that first is a offer, second is a communication, and third is a framework. So I'm lagging in all the three things. Communication is okay. So because I think that I'm getting the clients, so communication is okay. But as far as the digital framework is concerned, I need to learn a lot from you. So looking forward to connect with you. And Atul, thank you very much. You are doing the wonderful job, extremely beneficial to all the entrepreneurs also and all the peoples also. So great things.
Yeah, can you please introduce yourself? Because
I myself, Professor Krupanand, I'm a multi-dimensional business coach. I have developed one business profitability program. Any business is sucking, draining, or having the challenges in the turnover, in the sales, in the marketing, in the team building, in the production, whether it is a service industry, production industry, or the trading or consultation industry. I give this formula to them, and then I can generate the guaranteed profitability with a given period of time. So presently, I'm having a lot of success stories with me, but the business, the formula is really working great. So,
Fantastic.
but I'm lagging behind the technology. So that's why today opportunity, luckily I got your, this thing, I've seen the WhatsApp forward, and luckily I got having the slot. So I got connected.
So
And
as
I
they
know
say,
a lot
luck
about
comes,
you. Yes,
as
sir.
they say, luck comes to those who take action.
So I don't believe in the luck. I believe in execution. I'm execution coach. Luck and all these things for doesn't matter for me. Unless you generate the momentum in your action, there is nothing is going to happen.
Absolutely.
So there should be momentum.
Got it. Any specific question that you have for Ashish, so that Ashish
Yeah,
can
Ashish, I would like to know that what exactly you will be addressing in the framework, I would like to know. So if you describe it precisely, maybe in 2 to 3 minutes, so I will get a little bit idea that what exactly I'll be learning for that, and how much time I will take. It will take me to learn completely from you.
Fantastic.
It's first of the time it takes, for someone to learn it through is, it's their own bearing. Some people, get it really quickly, and some people, take a little bit more time. And then, with some people there's a little bit of hand holding. But the whole thing that I would want to cover in this whole 90 minutes of the webinar is, I'm going to cover their 3 secrets. Is how do you can sort of design your business, when you want to leverage social or social media platforms. How are you going to launch, the social media campaigns, and how do you launch successful social media campaigns? Because it is not just about the ads, it is just not about the sales, it is not about branding, it is a whole framework. It's a system, just as when you go to a factory, a machine would work and a lot of things have to come together. Or maybe a car will work when, your tires are, rightly air filled and your carburetor is clean, the engine sort of runs well. So there are a lot of moving parts. And same thing is with the social media, or basically using digital. And digital is another channel more than anything else. So I would just say, how do you optimize your entire business so that you can leverage the social media platforms? Yes, there is an overwhelm around technology, and there's an overwhelm because it's a new media, so there's a new language to it. I'll just say that, when they had radios, they had challenges, putting radio ads. Then came television, then they didn't know how to put television ads, which they mastered. Specifically for a lot of people, they do not know how to, do what you call videos over social or Facebook, for example. And then they do not know how to do video sales letters, or these terms by itself are very, very new that, I speak this language in a certain sense, try to make it very, very simple. For example, things like how do you, when do you use what? Do you do a webinar? Do you do a video sales letter? Or do you do a simple sales letter? Or do you just do an opt-in page and do? So there are a lot of questions people have around social. At the same time, they also have challenges with respect to, okay, how do I brand and how do I position on Facebook? A lot of people would want to do Facebook ads, but there is a certain graphic which is very, very different from the graphic that you would use for a YouTube ad, for example. Because just to put it together, let's a little deeper, you're actually scrolling in the Facebook, right? And when you're scrolling, the ad will come, so ad needs to stop you. Does not happen the same way on YouTube, or doesn't happen the same way on Google. So these different platforms are, different, differently organized. And they say that you scroll more than the length of a, what do you call, Empire State Building, or, in a day. So you scroll a lot in the day and we don't even realize it. So what do you do in the, those situations? How do you leverage video and so on and so forth? But more importantly, how do you put the entire brand, framework together and have a great offer first up? So this is what we're going to cover in the webinar, and then so that you can really do it start to finish. Because,
So I think, Ashish, I think this was really, really, really powerful. I'm just imagining that I'm scrolling, and then in a split second, means it's not even a second, the ad has to catch my attention and I have to stop there and see the ad. right?
Yes.
So my communication has to be such that so on a newspaper I probably have 15 minutes to present myself to the person. In television I have maybe a few seconds, and in the Facebook I have a split second. So I think that kind of sums it up. That's really
Yes.
interesting. Yeah.
So we'll cover all of this and cover some more stuff. And I don't know if I've done the perfect job of sending you that link. And I'll try to do it
You
again.
should also send your mobile number also with the link.
I think I should do that. Let me just send you my mobile number as well. And I just tell you, I love to cover every aspect of when you're promoting yourself. But I believe Atul does a very good job that if somebody wants to reach out, sometimes they reach. So basically, what I would say here is that you would want to take your business to the next level, and specifically, let's say you're a coach. Digital can get you a lot of clients. There's only a level of mastery that you can do as a coach, right? You already sort of there, right? But if you understand marketing, for example, most of the people I do not know, but if you're in the coaching industry, you would know a guy called Brendan Butchart, and he made about $5 million in a year and a half, and it was not because of his great coaching. It was because he became a great marketer of his coaching, and he stood right there with the top marketers who started learning marketing, and that's what we also done. With respect to what we could do as a salespeople or consultants, there's a limit to it. But what we learned then, that if you did marketing for businesses, that's where the money is in a certain sense. And whether you do information product, you do coaching, or whether you do consulting, or whether you basically run an e-commerce store, because another thing that's going to happen very, very soon is that you will need to have a great e-commerce store. So I think that's where it is.
When you are holding this webinar?
I would, once you join the group it's going to be in one coming in next week, and I would want to make sure that it is very solidly done because there are a lot of I'm expecting about 150 people to be here, so every piece of it is there. And then I've done this webinar with Atul, let's say 5 times. I've learned a lot, and Atul, just coolly, shared the idea with me one day, because we're next door neighbors. But one thing I can tell you is that it has, added immense value to me, because I never thought, my cost of acquisition, look at the price point Atul is saying. If all in 5 weeks, paying whatever money I paid, and, the cost of acquisition is very, very little. How many posters can I do in 5,000, and especially in this time? So I would do it in 1 week's time. And I'm just preparing it on the back end so that every piece of it is very, very useful to whosoever watches it. So join the group, I would say, and then I would be able to share with you, the complete details inside the group.
Okay.
So I think for all of us who are there in the call right now, joining the group would be worthwhile. So Ashish is in this habit of creating something new every day. Okay. And in this group, he'll keep on sharing some tidbits, some learning, something new. And that itself has a rub-off effect. Okay. So Ashish, I've got another question of you. So you were just saying that for a particular purpose, you would use a Facebook ad. For something else, you would use a webinar. So if you can please share, in what scenarios would we use a webinar?
Okay, first of all,
so I'll just tell you, I started this webinar piece because my thought process was that people would get jittery being in the lockdown state. So why not get them connected? All right. I did not really look at it from the marketing angle, honestly speaking. So let me hear from you. Where is it that we use webinar, and how do we make use of it? That I think would be helpful for everybody, because everybody has been attending a number of webinars every day.
So I can add something, Atul, if you
Yeah, please.
allow me.
Yeah, please.
Ashish, I've already joined your group and introduced myself. So this I would advise people: if you find value, don't wait, just do it. Other thing, we have noticed a lot of people attending webinars. So the strategy in your business should be: don't attend all the webinars of one subject, like knowledge or what's happening, how will my industry. Just attend one of the key webinars only for education and how things are going to happen in my industry. One webinar like Atul is doing, where you need to connect with people There is a business lying in those webinars. There's an interactive webinar where you can connect to people. And third could be that you can start your own community, gather all your people together, and engage with your association. So 3 hours in 3 different domains should be the one which you should actually do it. A lot of people have been doing, I think, 6 or 7 hours of webinar, only watching them. Guys, this will not bring you business. Business will happen in the rooms like Atul is doing. Or maybe Ashish when he does a webinar. That's where the business will lie for you. Hope I'm making sense.
Great. Yeah, definitely, Lokesh. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So Atul, you asked me a very important question, and I believe that I have something just for that. I think we have about 5 minutes, and I
Yes,
will
we do have. Yeah.
you when do you use webinars, when do you use sales letter, what do you do when, right?
Right.
And one of the things that is very critical when, and it's often overlooked in Indian, like when I speak to clients here, and even with marketing agencies, and they take it very, very lightly. And that is what you call copywriting. Now, if you're not, your copywriting competence will also determine your choices, right? If you're good in writing copies, I for fact can tell you that a lot of people, let's say, for example, how do you get admissions to these top tier universities, or how do you get a top tier job as well, or how do you get a top tier funding happening, is how good is your pitch at that point of time, and how good is your copy, how good is your written presentation. So if it's okay, I'll just share with you something which probably should allow us to, okay, let's see. Yeah, I think this is where it is. So this is how you choose your sales process. Is it first of all visible to everyone? Just if you can just tell me.
It's visible, but not really readable.
I'll make it readable.
Yes.
Right? So I'll just see if I can make it readable very quickly. Now, first thing is, how good is your copywriting game? That's the most important thing, right? Now, assuming it is fair, right? Then what is your price point? So price point determines, what you should do. If your price point is less than, $100 or 7,000 rupees, you should do video sales letters with what you call a 2-step order form and order bumps and everything. Is that sort of understandable?
Yeah.
And if your copywriting game is fair, again, you should not bother, with writing sales letters or whatever. You should go to a webinar with 2-step order form. So that is where the money is, right? If your copywriting game, as you said, is fair. Now, for me, for example, I'm good in copywriting to a certain extent. What I do is a little different. If it's for under $100, I don't do a video sales letter. I do a sales letter with order bumps. So sales letter or long format, what you call sales letter, would do very, very well. And they will do very, very well if you are good in copywriting. If you suck at copy, go to webinar. And if you really
Ashish, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you use the word copyright, okay, how are you implying it here? I think I hope I'm not the only one who's a little confused about this word.
Could you say that again? Could you just elaborate a little bit more on copywriting word?
When you use the word copyright, what I understand from copyright is that you're writing something original that stays with you. You're copywriting it, right? So when you're using this word here, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, great. Okay, so let me just demystify it. So copywriting here is not what is a copyright. Copyright is your patent or your business solution which you do a copyright. Now, copy basically is a simple word, or you would have heard something called content writing, right? Now, most of the marketers, for example, if I have to, launch brands or do whatever, the most important thing is how good I am with the written word. Right?
I've understood. Now I understand. It's understood. It just means that what is your content? What are you writing? What kind of word, what kind of language are you using that relates to the readers? It's okay. Now I understood. Thanks.
Yeah. So let me just say this here very quickly. There's a whole system of copywriting. All purpose of a sales presentation is to trigger the other person, and there is a formula to it. There is a
so Ashish, if I were to say what is your message, will that be appropriate, or message will be something different from copywriting?
your message is, let's say, is a part of your copy. All right.
Okay.
Your main job when you're doing a sales letter or a webinar or a video sales letter is to trigger the other person into watching you, and if there is a match, let's say if you have a certain solution or you solve a certain problem, there has to be a match, and you need to offer them your services. So that is done by triggering the other person. You need to have, there are three formulas to it. I mean, there is a 3-step process to it. It's essentially called hook, story, and offer. So if you can't hook someone, they won't hear your story. If your story is not interesting or engaging or making sense for them, they won't buy your offer. So it's
amazing.
It's copywriting is, or everything that you do is in terms of, for example, 3 secrets, the way you say them. And then there's a framework which is already proven, when you're doing a copy. So when you do a webinar also, there is a whole system that you do, right? So there's a hook, story, and
got it.
So this is where the whole game is. So there's a whole sequence to it. If you're not great at doing your own copy, your best is do not sell low ticket items if you cannot do a good copy, or you can't write a good sales copy or great sales, triggering stuff. Stick to what you call applications. Just talk people one-to-one. Do not try and present whatever. So from the market angle, you need a good copywriter, and all the best marketers I've known. If you look at guys like, guys like Russell Brunson, also have a guy called Jim Edwards, or if you've heard of this guy called Dan Locke, all of them were amazing copywriters, or they were amazing presenters with a framework, or there's a framework to all these presentations. So you need to learn how to write a good copy or hire someone who can do a great copy.
Yeah. So what I understand out of it is, I may have a great idea or something great in my mind. Unless I'm able to transfer that to somebody else, it will not fetch me anything.
I would certainly say this, that selling is a process of transfer of emotions. And unless somebody is triggered, over a period of time, which I've covered in the last, earlier presentations, you have to trigger somebody about, over a period of 22 days and about 32 times, sometimes, to sell them on your offer, because you need to trigger them. And because attention span is low, and if you can trigger them well, if you can, follow them, if you can be on their world. So one of the things that we've learned is that, there's a technology at play here. So technology is that, if you visit any website right now, you're pixeled or tagged on that website. You've heard that, they're using cookies. They basically pixel you and tag you, and then they follow and remarket you through these pixels and through these tags. So you need to have right sequence, like be cold, warm, and hot, and follow up. And the sequence is very critical. And then you have to be, on their world for a brief period of time, so that either they buy or then, and then you leave them for a while. So there's a whole, framework to it.
Fantastic. So thanks a lot, Ashish. We are at 9:31. Our time is over. So maybe you can stop sharing this presentation. And if there are some questions, we can take a few more of them. Are there any more questions? And can we have some closing remarks for Ashish?
Ashish, let's say for my business of insurance, or for anybody here, another one, how do we take it ahead?
How do
we take it ahead next now? You presented your case. Okay, I bought it. अभी मुझे इसमें आगे बढ़ना है, right? तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? I need to hire you, correct? I need to hire you.
There are two choices you have, and then there are two choices I have. First choice you have is that you spend, about good 10,000 hours, let's just say, to understand marketing and sales and.
No, forget. You're a doctor. I want give me tablets only.
Second thing is that you can of course hire my consulting team, and we have a whole in-house consulting team, and that's our what do you call primary business. We actually serve startups and funded startups, and we can design packages around it. And then I believe before even starting, you need to understand whether you're ready for it or not. First of all, it is the readiness. Readiness not just of investment, but readiness is that you have, what do you call, there are three things that we again talk about, is that whether your business is feasible, viable, and desirable. Of course, some services are very desirable, but they're not viable. So you got to be, very, very sure around these 3 points. And these are the check mark, and then are you ready to put the hard work that any entrepreneur would want to put in to learn it? And essentially what we do is a done with you service. Like we work with you, and it's not done for you entirely, because it cannot be, or it can be in a certain sense that, but we need to sync up with your operations or your, delivery in a certain sense. So again, feasibility, desirability, and viability of the business, and then whether whether we would want to ready and work.
Are you on the board of insurance companies? I hope they must have invited you to write the copy. I'm looking forward to joining in some big company.
Only thing I can tell you is that when I used to sell insurance, there were 800 people in City Financial back in the day, and I was ranked 23rd or 24th, as I hardly remember. So I was top 4 percentile or 95 percentile in the sales people. So I know how to sell for sure. Somebody would come and, buy loans from us, and we were able to sell them insurances. So that is how, aggressive you are, that किसी के पास पैसा भी नहीं है, फिर भी हम उसे insurance बेच देते थे.
You got a great hook.
So that's all I can tell you with respect to insurance, and, that.
I will take a teaching with you, definitely. Interesting.
All right, great.
We'll go ahead. Sure.
Lokesh has a question. He's raised his hand.
No, you said closing remarks, so I just wanted to make sure, Ashish, being a leader, a lot of people look at us and get inspired. But I can say, as we have always believed, everybody learns. And attending your webinar, I made specially an effort today that yes, I have to attend your webinar, and it was worth it. I learned very key skills of marketing today. Thank you so much.
Coming from you, Lokesh, it's very, very good. I'm just a communicator here. I've been standing on what you call shoulders of giants, and I usually tend to report and do what they tell me, and then when the results come, the happiness comes, and then I'm happy to report. And I'm a little bit turning from a reporter to a little bit of an adventurer. And earlier, of course, I was very reluctant to do all these things, because I thought, okay, who will listen to me? And I had all these doubts in my head that
you're right. We all have broken our shackles. We all have broken our barriers. A lot of people have done that. I have started my podcast.
Yes.
I never had a vision of having a podcast, and I'm on, because during the day it's all business. It's federation, or it's Better Together, or international consulting. But when somebody interviewed me on a podcast, and I said, oh, podcast is something for your soul and relationship.
Yes.
And that is also somewhere I'm also a human being. So I started doing all those feelings of what I feel as a human being. And amazing. Really. Thank you so much, Ashish.
Thank you so much, Lokesh.
Ashish, looking forward to see your clients in the Fortune 100, and could be you in a Forbes 100 also. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Believe you. Believe yourself that you could be there.
I certainly hope so, because the solution has to be an enterprise level or a robust solution. And I think now we're there, that the solution by itself that we're bringing on, because once you've done funded startups, when they're heavily funded in a certain sense, or then they're like starting to get their, seed money, and when we've been able to get them to the next level with our, marketing and sales, and it feels great. And I think the confidence comes from there that, you can really serve a, maybe a bigger SME. And then of course you would want to gradually take it to the next level.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right. So great. Thanks a lot.
Sanjeev Ahuja here. It was a wonderful presentation. Once again, we loved your presentation. When you come next time, please come with some example and show a framework of that example, whatever industry it may be.
So Sanjeevji, on that point, because you got to do this in 15 minutes, and if you remember, like last time I did do one single company.
Dairy farm you talked about.
Yeah. So in the 90 minutes webinar, I'll of course make sure that I just don't talk about my examples, but I talk about my clients' examples a lot, and how we were able to take them to the next level. And the time frame will be such that, I'll be able to do that in a very comprehensive manner. I have shared that in the past. Let's say, of few of my clients, I will share more case studies, and I'll pick up this case study and make sure that I'll detail it, that how, they can be profitable, running ads, and how it all goes. We can always go into that, how we're getting the success and how we're getting the orders. And I'll show you how the whole stuff is working live. So live on the Facebook, live on our research, and how that has benefited our clients, and then they're picking up another round of money in this lockdown because we were able to get that doing. And I think if you have a great business model, I will share with you most of these things, and then let's see how it goes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome. All right. So thanks a lot, Ashish. Every time having you here takes the journey to a different swing altogether. Right.
Oh, thank you so
This time, probably your presentation was the shortest and the conversation was the longest.
Yeah, so I think
maybe you got a larger hook this time. Awesome. Yeah.
So I'll just say this thing, that if you're presenting, and I'm sure Lokesh, you would know it, but when you're presenting, try and aim for one thing. So in fact, I just still aimed for two things. I said offer and its communication, and then there's offer, communication, and pre-framing. So, people sort of remember it easily when you talk in such, this was essentially a 5-minute webinar that I sort of presented to you. I still took longer, but if you can do this in 5 minutes, like you talk to somebody and in 5 minutes, that, okay, it's all about offer and its communication. And then you got to do the offer as a stack. Communication has to be cold, warm, and hot, and pre-framing is branding and positioning. So this, if you can do it in a tweet, if you can say it in very, very few words, then, then they say that you really know your business. Otherwise, I'm not too sure if you know your business, if you can't just put it, compress it in a tweet or, on a very, very few words. So that's where it is.
This relates to Atul, your last webinar on velocity. When you are selling, actually, you need to have momentum, speed, but your velocity is very important. You have to be very crisp, short to attract the customer.
Absolutely. All right, great. So people, it was awesome to have you people here today. Tomorrow we are, okay, so Rajesh ji, if you can please take around 1 minute to share about what are we going to talk tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to have a panel discussion on sustainability. Okay. So how do you bring sustainability into your business, and what does it generally mean? So Rajesh ji is going to be one of the panelists tomorrow. Rajesh Budraj.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
You see, the industry is currently, of course, grappling with how to open up. There are a lot of measures they are taking to sanitize and clean up. Once they open up, we have to look at, how we can kickstart them at the highest form of efficiency. Now, efficiency, of course, one is manpower and people. Now, these manpower and people, if we have to have a sustainable efficiency in them, we have to give them a healthy environment. Now, the bodies like ISHRE and ASHRE, which are the air conditioning bodies, they are talking about, how to create the right amount of air changes in shop floors. That, the dilution of, if there is a case inside, how do you dilute that with fresh air? And you have to vent that out also. So I'm going to be discussing on how we can do things naturally without the use of motive power, because that's one of the green solutions. And even if you have to, let's say there are shop floors which are air conditioned, how do we improve the efficiency of those systems, by minimal kind of investments? Then, of course, I have a couple of sustainable ideas unrelated to air conditioning, which I'm going to be sharing tomorrow.
Fantastic. So thanks a lot. Yeah. So
industry, yes.
Yeah, great. So thanks a lot. So people, Mr. Rajesh Budraja, he is an IIT Kharagpur pass out 1976. So many of us were in. So I was fortunate. I was still in Nicker. Some of us were not even born then. All right. So, sir, it will be a pleasure to host you tomorrow. Okay. And these are the kind of people. So we keep on, we are on a lookout for gems. So my job, मैं धीरे धीरे करके एक जौहरी बन गया हूँ जो हर रोज एक नया जेम जो है वो खोज कर लाता है और उसको परोसता है. So maybe a gem, maybe a जौहरी or maybe a बावर्ची जो कि एक खानसामा जो एक अच्छा खाना परोसता है. So I'm somewhere there. Okay, guys. So with this, we're closing the day and see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're a gem of a person.
Thank you.
Yes, you are, Atul.
Thank you. Bye.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ashish.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.